How you doing, guys? I'm back. It's Samo, and I'm back making video journals. I'm making this video as a kickstart from, I think, one of the last videos I watched, and it's about the mindset. And you, David, you talked about um, going back. You, David, you talked about going back to the mindset, getting ready for the spring and summer. It's been a long time for me since I made the video. I've been way too busy with my. I think this is my last semester for my college, for the last year of my college. So it's been hectic doing my projects, assignments, and exams. But the summer is nearing down, and I really wanted to make this video as like to show that I kind of wanted to be committed to being part of the forum. I've been quite on the and laid down the last couple of months. I think the last thing I submitted was the infield video, but since then, I think since the point when I was making the infield videos, that's when I think it was the point just after Christmas. I really sat down with myself and I thought about what I gained from last year, what I've done from 2009. And although I gained a lot of success being a member of the forums, I didn't actually have any specific successes, any like big leaps. Maybe I think mostly were mindset stuff. Mostly just to make myself get out more by making like a video like this one, and to be like an active member of the forum. But so far, when I look back to it, I remember that time after Christmas. I think it was just before New Year, couple of days before New Year. I really sat down with myself and thought about what I'd done. It was kind of, I won't say emotional. It was kind of, a moment where kind of you look back what you achieved, what you've done, and I gotta be honest, I did had some leaps in the mindset, the way I think about life, the way I think about myself, how I respect myself, how I love myself. But I didn't really grasp what I did last year. I didn't really grasp on uh, being consistent in everything that I wanted to do. And David, you talked about a video where you said, in particular, where you said that I think a lot of us are stuck in theory land, and it's so true. You know, I'm kind of stuck. I'm kind of stuck on that ship, on that boat. That's what it's been last year. It took me a while to actually get out myself, get myself out, and stop being inside my head. So for since January, I made a promise to myself, and I think I've done it on the forum in my journal. And I did a promise where I said, okay, I really need to grasp on this. I really want to kickstart, develop myself. I want to keep momentum. And you mentioned about repetition. That's one of the major things I never did about myself last year. I never really put myself out there every time. So 2010 was a kickstart for myself, kickstart for my life, and I did that. But it's just that it's so hard when certain things keeps you in your mind. Sometimes you get busy. You get busy with your life, with your college and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, kind of, my commitment went downhill for a bit. And I wanted to make this a video just to show my commitment. I promise from now on, I will since January, I've realized that I wasn't a good observer. You always talked about in the Masters series, and the amazing product you made was it approach anxiety. That's amazing. I, you know, that's I think approach being a master communicator. I think that is even better than the Masters series, because I think that's the first product that everyone should listen to before the Masters series, because it makes them think what it's not a disease, as you say. It's just a fictional thing you put in your head. It's something you made up in your head. So the one thing I learned of last year was that I didn't really become a master observant. I didn't really observe a lot about what's going on in my life. I've always observed, practiced this principle, observing. Then what I do, I just jump to another hurdle. I just jump to another thing where I think, okay then, I've mastered being observant. Now let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. And I was just not really becoming master, looking at the small things first. Taking one small thing, being a master of it, and then moving on. I was never being doing that. And I think the first hurdle is being observant. So my goal for 2010 was to actually be a master of being a master observer. And it took me, I gotta admit, it took me a month, 2 months to actually. It was actually 2 months of practice. I think the first 2 weeks, I put a plan to myself, put a target there. I said, okay, the first 2 weeks would be being observant, and I have to move it into. The next step was to actually write down what I could say, what I should say, doing the hello practice. But the first hurdle, the first thing was I really wanted to be a really master observing people and observing life. I think after 2 weeks I realized that I wasn't really, I never really thought I always thought that I'm good at observing people, but I never really got to find out, like the things I could say about people and what I should start a conversation about. So it's been step by step process. It's been a slow process, but now I think now I've got the hang of it now. Um, it's funny that when you go back, it's not literally going backwards, but when you take the foundations first of all, take the pillars, start from the foundation, like being observant. You really get to see yourself why you have approach anxiety. You get to see that it's nothing. It's just something you made up. It's like a fictional thing. It's not a really problem. It's just something in your head. It's just a little voice in your head that says that makes up excuses in your head. Being observant made me actually see myself, how I was feeling just about when I observe someone or when I approach someone. And I've actually, in this period of like for a month and a half, since February, I never really went and approached anyone. I was only just taking this aspect of just being observant, and it's been going good so far, I have to admit. Now I think I'm really ready to making the next step of actually. I've done quite a lot of hello practices, and being and the aspect of smiling to people and showing some kind of able to get into close interaction. How I'm kind of positioning my body and everything like that. So soon enough, when I promise we'll make more added videos, I will actually contribute and make infinite videos. I've actually got one of those secret what is it called, USB cameras, and I promised you, David, I'll actually continue making more commitment and putting more videos into the forums. So I'll get to see you guys and see you on the videos.